What's up guys, BR here with a quick note before today's episode. As you might have noticed, today's episode is 199.5. So what is that? This is a quick little bonus episode meant to be a cock tease before episode 200. So today we have a episode with Nathan being interviewed on a different podcast. So we're just republishing that audio from the Windage and Elevation Podcast. So that's hosted by Andrew, who had Nathan on to talk about essentially where firearms culture is right now, kind of the general vibe, and also to get a little bit more meta about art and war. So I felt while we're putting the finishing touches on episode 200, which is a video episode, so we just recorded that up in Idaho, and it takes a little bit to put together that stuff and really put the spit polish on it. So in the meantime, we didn't want to rush that. We wanted to make sure we got it right, and so taking this little bonus episode to give us a little bit more breathing room to dial that in and then get it out to you guys next week. So in the meantime, please enjoy this conversation with Andrew from the Elevation and Windage podcast. I really enjoyed listening to this. It was nice to hear basically an episode that I had nothing to do with. It's just Nathan on the show sharing his thoughts. And it's honestly, as you know, as a friend and co-host to Nathan, it's really cool to hear him kind of flying solo, doing his own thing, and I think this is quite endearing to, really how Nathan at his core feels about, the gun space and kind of how things are going, what's good, what's bad, and kind of where art and war sits on all of that. So super cool. Hope you enjoy this. If you do, be sure to check out the Elevation and Windage podcast. We'll put links below to their show. They're a little bit younger than Art and War, so be sure to give them some love over there. Anyway, until next time, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you for episode 200.
Be kind. If you see someone on the internet that may not agree or disagree with you, or they have a slightly different gun, or they bought a belt fed or something, or like the wrong pistol, just you don't have to be as mean as you could be. Like, if you got someone who's like into the same things as you, but oh no, they bought an 11.5 barrel instead of a 16-inch DMR, like, whatever, man. Is it really worth just like shitting on someone for just doing something a little bit differently? Like, maybe it doesn't fit your use case. Maybe they just want to have fun. Maybe like there's already so much negativity in the world. Do you have to add to it? Just be kind.
Welcome to the Windage and Elevation Podcast, the 2A podcast that aims to change culture through conversation. I'm your host, Andrew. Today we have with us, I'm super stoked, we got illustration Nathan.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us today.
No worries.
Nathan's from the CBRN Art podcast, Art and War podcast, I should say. Illustrates for their page, and also former Canadian, made out from behind the maple leaf curtain.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the day I can just burn that fucking passport.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Thanks for coming on,
that place is a dystopian hellscape and a half. Fuck that place. If there's any Canadians listening to this right now, I'm so sorry that you have to live there. Leave. Life can get better, I promise.
I feel like it's just going to be like a hellscape nightmare of like one day you're going to like, oh, there's a knock at the door, and Justin Trudeau is just like getting the Escalade. Like,
oh, the things that I will reply to that. Oh, yeah. My god. Oh my god. Nope. It's going to have to take me in a fucking bag.
Yeah, fair. Well, cool. Well, usually we do a little warm up to kind of get started, and then you tell us a little bit about yourself. So we'll do properly rated, overrated, or underrated. So I kind of give you just a rapid fire series of things. You can kind of tell me your personal thoughts. If we want to expand on any of them, we can.
Easy day. Let's do it.
AR 180.
I like it. I feel like everything is more nuanced to be like overrated, underrated.
Yeah.
Like Canada. Sorry, is this a thing that we're just going to like power through, or do we want to talk about them?
You can talk about them. Yeah, that's fine.
I
got all the time.
Familiar with AR 180s in Canada because we had this weird workaround back in the day where like AR 15s, like direct impingement, that's kind of like loosely how they were defined, were heavily regulated, but AR 180s were not. Like AR 18 short stroke gas piston guns. You could buy domestically manufactured ones, and keep in mind this is Canadian manufacturing, so they're fucking dog shit. Like Like I remember the first time I shot a WK-180, which was just like one of the various modernized AR-180 platforms, and immediately that overgas piece of shit like sheared lugs off the bolt and they hit me in the face.
Shit.
Like, okay, great, like here we are, I guess.
Yeah, this is acceptable alternative. Great.
Yeah, genuinely, you're paying triple that you'd pay for like a PSA and getting a worse product.
It's funny because I feel like there's that, and then you see, who is it, like Crusader Arms?
Yeah,
or they have like a really good looking AR-180 where I'm like, that kind of gives me, like what am I thinking of? The Magpul, like Masada vibes.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, it's kind of nice.
And it was nice. It really was. Then it got banned just like everything else.
Everything good.
I think some people had problems with them. Crusader Arms is a company that like, and I feel bad for them because they're being fucked by the very short and tiny and misshapen dick of the Canadian government. But like they'd release a product and like 6 months later it's like, nope, fuck you. This is a nasty, scary assault weapon meant to kill Palestinian children. I don't know. But no, that gun absolutely fucked. It weighed like 14 pounds. And
oh my God.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, I strapped everything in the kitchen sink to that thing. Like it can make tacos if you pressed a button.
Yeah.
But it was like heavy and awkward, and I think had teething problems. But for like Canadian manufacturing, which again has a famously low bar, it was workable. Yeah. I think like PSR and Admin got their hands on one of those each, and they didn't have as such good luck as I did. But
not as much nostalgia, I'm sure.
No, way less nostalgia. But yeah, okay. Basically, to answer the question, if they're good, fantastic. If they're not good, give it to Justin Trudeau, I guess.
Next one, I think I already know the answer to this one, but Flux Raider.
If you desig it, excellent.
Like
we were just talking about.
We were just talking about this.
Like, yeah, replacing every part. Like I just replaced the barrel, and that thing rips now. I replaced the trigger with an agency with the little trigger shoe. Next up, it's replacing the striker with one that's not going to absolutely just destroy my balls. I think like once I think we were talking about this a second ago. Angled Spade, which I'd never heard of them before, but they just published a patent for a like desigged DP320 problems striker for the P320. Once that comes out, hell yeah. But either way, it's like a fantastic little platform. I love it.
The first time I saw that striker, like I saw a picture before I bought my Flux, and it's kind of like that meme from Jurassic Park where he walks up and he's like, that is one big pile of shit. And like I remember looking at the striker just being like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah. Man, it is, oh my God. It is just like such a poor design. And I remember like when I first installed in the Flux Raider and I got it back together. And again, Flux Raider, fantastic. Like Flux guys, love it.
Yeah, exactly. I love their product.
The design of this thing, fantastic. Every problem I've had with it has been like SIG related. And I think like now is the time, if you want a Flux Raider, buy one of the $150, $200 P320s and just shove that shit right
exactly.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like fix it with your own money, like with third-party upgrades. Yeah, and you'll have actually a fantastic little platform. We won't get into the use case. Like everyone gets so like, oh, like what's the point? You can just have a Mark 18. You just use a Glock. Like shut up. Guns can be fun. Who gives a fuck?
I purely bought it because it's a vibe. I love it.
It's just a vibe. Like people are allowed to have fun things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Next one I got on the list: Tiger Stripe camo.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, all day.
Like, yeah.
Again, going back to the vibe, you just see like the old school like MacV SOG pictures with like the black and green. It's like, damn it, that's just so cool.
Tiger Stripe goes so hard, and if I had all the money in the world, I'd have like G3s in it. I'd have everything. Yeah. I'd just dress like Naked Snake from MGS3 all the time.
Next one I got here, Tim Hortons.
Incredibly overrated now.
Okay.
I'm going to get some hate for this, but whatever. It's Like, all right, if I want an Indian dude to fuck up my order, I just go to New Delhi or something. I don't know. Like I hate that place now, which is sad because I had such good memories. But
yeah, that's what I was curious if there's a nostalgia aspect or
there is. Like, it was good, but I think in like the last year of living in Canada, like I didn't get a single order right. Like I'm like, hey, can I have like a black coffee? And they'd give me like a latte and charge me triple for it.
Yeah, Canada's slowly forcing you out any way possible.
Yeah, there'd be someone at the window that doesn't speak English and smells faintly of just like sweat, body odor, and feces. Like no, thank you.
Yeah, gotta love it. Next one I have Procreate drawing software.
I like it. That's just like what I use for work most of the time.
Yeah, it's kind of a neutral opinion. Yeah. I try.
Yeah.
Let's see here. CQB center checks.
Not educated enough to have an opinion. It makes sense.
I respect that.
Yeah. I'm just a LARPer.
John Wick movies.
1 and 2, fantastic. 3 and 4,
yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think like, and I still respect them and like them and will watch them because the bar on action movies is so low. But I think when they really started leaning into the bulletproof suit thing, the choreography went out the window a little bit. And it's still beautifully, acted and choreographed in terms of like its stunt work and everything else. I just feel like they ran out of ideas.
Yeah, that's fair. I
still watch them to support it though, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing I thought was really cool. Like the first one I feel like was a super big pull like on gun culture. Like, wow, you can have a wide shot movie, which there's are obviously other movies that have wide shots, but wide shot action scenes that aren't cut. It's not like, Born Supremacy where every half second there's like a cut, shaky cam.
It's like Parkinson's camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen Ballerina?
So I was curious. I was like, oh, I didn't even know this came out. And then I saw a clip and I was like, I can't tell if this is a joke or not. Because it was like so over the top
at times. Yeah.
Okay.
It's over the top, but the action itself for the most part is quite grounded.
Okay.
The movie I would compare it to the most would be kind of like a mix of, have you seen Nobody?
Yeah, that was great. I really like Nobody.
Yeah. It's like kind of the over top like action choreography of Nobody mixed with the like kind of grounded realism of John Wick 1. It's like a happy medium between the two. She gets the fuck beaten out of her, and she like it's good. Like it's not just like shitty power fantasy or just dudes dancing around with bulletproof suits.
I can appreciate that.
It's grounded and gritty and self-aware and fun all at the same time somehow, even though those things kind of contradict each other. I really recommend it.
Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, I'll be on my list.
Yeah.
Rolling specials.
Make popcorn.
Make popcorn.
Yes. Like the Glock 19 comp dot light, like any combination thereof doesn't have to be clone correct. Hell yeah.
I was saying you have some time on the afterburner, right?
Yeah. That's my primary my primary carry comp. I really like it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, you can't live without it. But I like it. It works.
Nice. Last one I got here, civilian IAR setup.
Nebulous. I get into, again, guns can be fun. Guns are allowed to be fun. You don't need to justify like, like the big hot dog eating contest happens and we all have to go fight like robot Mark Zuckerberg. These are your genuine roles. Like time and place for everything. I'm not going to get into the weeds and nitty gritty. I know that there's kind of a push. I really want a Lima 6 belt fed upper. Like, I don't know. Like we wake up tomorrow to air raid sirens and fucking zombies running around. I'm probably not going to grab it, but like people are allowed to have fun with things and people are allowed to LARP. I feel like when folks on both sides, like for and against, get too into the weeds of like, yes, no, this is like an important thing that we have to have two of these in our section. then, you know, that's okay. I'm not going to stop that or even judge it, really.
Yeah, that's fair. Don't get too in the weeds. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get too in the weeds. If you can and want to run it, go ahead. If you want to have it so you can shoot bottles on in your backyard, fucking go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I think they're neat. I just think they're neat, just like the Flux Raider.
Yeah, exactly. I know I was talking with someone recently about the Fight Light Upper, and I was like, I have no use case for it, but man, it's just, especially with like
so
an
cool.
FRT, like that just looks so freaking sweet.
Yeah. It's like we want to, like, if everyone was like, oh, it's so serious LARPy all the time, it's like, okay, everyone's got like a 14.5 to an 18-inch with an LPVO or an MPVO on it, and a light and a fucking, I don't know, some sort of night vision device or IR device of some kind.
Yeah.
That's boring. You don't have to just do that. That's okay. And I say this as someone who absolutely did it several times. And, you know, if, again, the zombies happen tomorrow, probably what I'd grab. Still, have fun.
I find myself like, there's definitely a push and pull between those things where, like, you know, I've gone full send into just like, I want a bunch of stuff and this is cool. And then I just check myself and I end up selling a bunch of stuff and kind of purging and like what's important. But I think you can also get so in the weeds that it's like, oh, I've got this one rifle and this has to be the rifle. And I can't train with anything else. I can't even enjoy myself. You know, it's all serious. It's all game time.
Yeah, and if someone wants to be like that, that's cool. That's fantastic. Yeah. I respect that immensely. But I think it's important to know, like, we're all our own adults, and you know, what we find important or just fun or anything else is kind of what's going to drive all of our opinions. And I feel like people shove their own use cases into each other's mouths, and it's online is just a big circle jerk. There's a reason I barely log in anymore.
So that's what I was gonna say. You know, like, you guys have had the page for what, 4 years now? I mean, the podcast has been the page has been longer. Podcast has been, what was, like 2020, 2021.
Oh,
that sound about right?
It's been a minute.
Yeah. How do you feel like gun culture has changed over the years of doing the podcast? And not to give you, like you said, like a big, you know, high five, everybody, we're great, but I feel like you guys have made a really big impact on gun culture. And so do you feel like you've seen some positive changes, or there's some things where you're like, dear Lord, what is happening? What's your take?
I think it's like equal parts positive and negative. I got into this a little bit recently, where there was a period, and I think especially like 2020, 21, 22. Have you ever seen the movie Eddington, directed by Ari Aster?
Eddington?
It just came out.
It doesn't sound familiar. No.
Very new. It's kind of a modern Western, like a satirical. The closest thing that I could compare it to is like, thematically, it's kind of a little bit similar to the Coen brothers' No Country for Old Men.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's just kind of like a satirical look at the 2020 kind of zeitgeist of like, oh, masks, oh, no masks, oh, guns everywhere, gun violence, oh no, the Black Lives Matter thing, like, so much happening. This weird like diaspora of like normal people into weird groups, for better or for worse. I don't want to say weird as in like negative, but it drove a lot of people who were not necessarily like fence sitters, but people who weren't necessarily engaged into things like guns and preparedness, or, you know, not just that. There's also like every weird subculture you can think of, because suddenly everyone's being like very artificially polarized one way or the other. And I think in a weird way, it was a fantastic thing for guns. Like everyone's suddenly like, oh shit, maybe these aren't just to, and you know, there's always been people who are training, you know, I've been, LARPing ever since Magpul Dynamics came out, like back in the day.
So great, love it.
But without really purpose, you know. And now suddenly everyone has a purpose, and everyone has kind of like-minded people in groups. Like I was seeing, remember the Boogaloo memes back in like 2019? That's what got me on board, and like of all
Hawaiian
the people
shirts and tactical gear.
And like immediately that turned into probably like, I'm not going to be like it was a psyop, but absolutely it was a psyop. Immediately it turned into like this gay retarded thing. Like, oh, if you're a Boogaloo boy, you're like, you support pedophiles and you're a leftist communist and also a Nazi. Like immediately that whole thing just went to shit. But there was a period of a couple months where it was so prolific, it was showing up everywhere. Like, no absolute normies were like,
knew exactly what you're talking about.
My friend groups and whatnot that were completely not interested in this stuff. We're getting it. Like,
dang.
And like 2020, 2021 comes around and immediately it's psyops to hell. But we saw this huge influx of people into starting getting into guns and being like, oh shit, maybe like preparedness culture has something to it. Maybe I should train because this kind of thing could happen anywhere. Combine that with the assault weapon bans, the mass shootings, the like violence protests, the mainly peaceful protests. I'm sorry.
The summer of love. I think that's what you meant to say.
The summer of love. And like people were scalping like used Gen 3 Glock 19s for like $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a wild time. I remember even like, so back, that time I was still living in California, which I sympathize with making it out from, a communist zone into
a communist hellhole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember, talking to my parents, and my dad was like, yeah, even, we had some extended family who lived like heart of San Francisco, very well-to-do, ultra, left leaning, which I don't care about people's politics, but just this helps kind of encapsulate. And even they were like, oh, they talked to my uncle and they were like, so if we wanted to get a gun, how would we go about this? And it's like, wow, that's a big change if we have someone on a complete polar other end who would normally be like, gun control is the solution to everything. We don't need any guns, to be like, maybe there's a nugget of truth here. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to have something at my house. Maybe there is a use case for this other than just the police and military should own these, horrible weapons of war. It was wild to see that kind of shift during 2020, being like, more than, your average people are interested in this.
Yeah, well, 2020 came with a big realization for a lot of people that like the police will not protect you. Yeah. Like the powers that be are mostly illusory. It works when there's a couple of crackheads and a little bit of petty crime, but as soon as it's too much for the system to handle, no, like go look outside. Look outside in more or less any major city, and what are the police enforcing? You going 10 over the limit?
Yeah.
Like your window tint? Do they give a shit about the fence zombies? Do they give a shit about the property crime? Fuck no. They're going after the things they can enforce. Enforcement only really works if people have something to lose, if that makes any sense.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we had an interesting conversation recently. I was talking with Brandon Wambo from T-Rex Arms, and we were kind of talking about the recent changes with the NFA and how you're seeing the reemergence of like FRTs and super safeties, and how once you kind of have that like crack in the system, like that win for Rare Breed was huge because now you have all these people flooding the market. Suddenly you have what is legally not a machine gun. Don't read my house, ATF. Legally not a machine gun, but you have something with a similar volume of fire and similar characteristics that now is super common and people can just buy right off the shelf. And I feel like having that tip is where you start winning some gun rights back, because it's just kind of like 3D printing. It becomes so easily accessible and so popular that before you know it, it's just the horse is off. You can't catch up to it.
I think so too, but in fairness, it's always been a push-pull. I do view, and this kind of gets back into your previous question about how I feel it's going. Like, that's the good. The bad is, one, right now we don't really have a common enemy. The pendulum has swung over to the side that is ostensibly on gun rights,
Yeah.
And we have to remember, the pendulum swings both ways and very quickly. While we're getting wins now, we can't assume those wins are going to be here forever. And everyone's very disorganized in that. I see a lot of the gun community turning on each other in a way that I didn't see in 2020 to 2022.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's nuts, and I do not like it. Like, I'm a grown-ass adult. I don't care about drama. Like, if you're a grifter, people should probably call you out on it. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm not going to say that, we shouldn't police our own community, but when people get bored, especially like young, angry men, and they've got nowhere to focus on, it's a lot I've said a billion times before, like the left eats their own and the right eat their own, and like any special interest community will do the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
because it's way easier to go after your people who agree more with you, except on this like one particular thing, than it is to go after someone who absolutely does not. And while I think we're winning, there's no two ways around it in a lot of court cases. And like we have super safeties, we have FRTs, we might get if the SCOTUS stuff works, get suppressors and SBRs back off the NFA. But like I don't want to say we're going to keep that momentum forever. I'd really like to.
Yeah.
Like I would vastly prefer that that's the case. Like but I think we have to prepare for when the pendulum swings the other way, we might start ceding ground, like a lot of ground.
I'd hate for this to be the like generational win, so to speak, where, man, remember like the good old days, 2025 when we got rid of the NFA.
We had super
and this
safeties
and
for
that.
like 3 years, and now semi-autos are illegal.
Yeah, and instead of... go ahead, sorry.
Which again, enforcement is only as good as the people who are willing to enforce it and the people who are willing to comply with it. But, I think the powers that be are smart enough to go after manufacturers, the sellers, the everything else. Like they will make it hard, and they will price it out, and they will make it taboo, which is what we've seen in, counties, states, and countries that have banned these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care if you have it, and you go to your grave and like, oh, cool, I kept my AR-47 with the 30-round clip-a-zine. They just need you to die of old age. And
exactly.
They'll confiscate it. Like,
sometimes I
grandfathering is not a win.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah,
and I feel it's an interesting dynamic, because I feel like in the United States you have, because of kind of the way law enforcement setup, you have like unique pockets with sheriffs, and you could have an area, like I lived, before I moved out to Tennessee, I lived in like a really, really, really backwoods rural county. And the sheriff was like, like if you aren't a felon and you can, come in and fill out some basic paperwork, like we'll approve your CCW. This is like pre, the big court case winning in California. And so you have that, and then you have, other sheriffs in other areas who is pretty much for political gain. Suddenly all the CCW permits have been approved for people who are funding their campaign. So odd how that works out. And so it's a really odd dynamic where you can have areas where they're like, oh, I'm not going to enforce that, or I don't care. And then other areas where, it's like, we will enforce every little bit of the law whenever we have the opportunity to. Yeah.
That sounds like Canada. It's, That's one of the big cultural shifts that I'm still getting used to, but I really love, is the idea of locally elected law enforcement.
Yeah.
Like I live on the border of Eastern Washington, which Washington is a hellscape for gun rights. Effectively, like all center fire semi-autos, verboten. Like you're just fucked. Like anything that takes a detachable box mag and is semi-auto, no, fuck you, I guess. Like you're not getting shit. I'm sure there might be exceptions to this, and someone's going to be like, well, actually, it's like, I don't live in Washington. Like, whatever. But because of where, like, I live pretty far from Seattle. It's Eastern Washington. There's a lot of gun culture. The sheriffs have unilaterally basically said, just fuck it.
Yeah,
fuck it.
That's a big one.
Like, it's they're just not enforcing the gun regulation at all. And that's not a thing in Canada. In Canada, almost all small town police are federalized. So they will enforce everything to the letter of the law, and even past it.
That's RCMP, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think I listened to one of your podcasts recently, and you were talking about that, which just blows my mind. You could have, because I think that there's something poetic about the fact that you have someone who is from that area, who is part of the sheriff's department. I know people in this community. I live here, and I police here, and so there's not this anonymity of like, well, I live a couple of counties over, and I commute in, and I don't know anybody, and so I'm kind of anonymous.
Yeah,
it's very much
you're
like,
there for 2 years. Like whatever you do after 2 years,
dude, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's awful, and 100% it's on purpose. They even say it's like, well, they don't keep you there for so long, and they say it's so you don't become corrupt, so you don't.
It's giving me like concentration camp vibes. Like, don't get too close to the prisoners. We don't want you to feel bad for them.
So I've got a friend up here, and like no one likes getting pulled over, but like every time I've gotten pulled over here, it's been like, hey, like I saw you on your phone, like I'm checking Google Maps or something, or like, hey, you forgot to turn your headlights on, like really friendly conversation. Like I got pulled over, and if I get pulled over in Canada or if I have any police interaction, they're looking for a way to fuck you. And like they are looking for something to put you away. And I'm sure that some cops here, I'm sure that is that
certain areas
that'll happen anywhere. But I was talking with my my friend who just moved down here, and she's a design engineer, from Toronto.
Okay.
And I asked the same thing, and I'm like, hey, is it just me, or were all the police interactions in Canada like that? Like they were looking for a reason to put you in jail forever? And she went, yeah, absolutely. This
wow.
It's, again, anecdotal. I'm sure there's people who will do that here and people who won't do that there.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt like every police interaction I ever had in Canada with RCMP was going to end with me in cuffs.
Jeez. So since you've made it out, and because you've been in the United States for a year and a half now, I'm guessing.
Oh, more than that. I won't confirm. Like,
okay, you don't give me a specific
happily married
date, but...
and all of this stuff.
Okay,
like I've been here for 2 months. I've been here for 6 years. It doesn't matter. I've always been here.
It's a decent amount of time now. Is there is there a couple things that you were pleasantly surprised on? Because I mean, I'm sure you've visited before. You already knew a lot of people out here. Is there anything gun culture wise where you're like, this rocks? I'm just super stoked on this. Is completely different than back in Canada.
Fucking all of it, dude. Like, keep in mind, I'm in fucking rural, not rural, like small town northern Idaho. So gun culture here is like, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
I've had sheriffs roll up to me at the shooting pit, and I've got all sorts of manners of fun gizmos and contraptions, and they're like, hell yeah, that's the coolest thing. So and so, here's my number. We should go shoot sometime. I remember once, we had a super safety down at one of the gravel pits, and a sheriff rolls up, and it's like 8:00 at night in the winter, so it's dark. It's been dark for hours, and the sheriff rolls, and he gets out, and he's like, "Hey, do you have any class 3s I should know about? Like full autos? Like, hey, do you have any full autos?" And like we're all looking at each other, and probably like a deer in headlights, and he just starts laughing. He's like, I don't give a shit. Like,
I'm picturing you like prone in front of a saw, like, no.
What are you talking about, buddy?
No idea what that is.
Friend?
Yeah.
No, he was like, nah, dude, I don't care. We got a noise complaint. If you can be done in 2 hours, that'd be cool, but I can't stop you even if you're not, so bye. And he just left.
That's cool. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
I was always
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Just some local campers from the city or something called it in, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's the fun side and downside of the public land shooting. I feel like out west is that you kind of have to deal with that. Also, like,
which in fairness, that was the only time, I think. Like once or twice, I've had like a sheriff that just happened to be in the area come by.
Oh, okay.
Like one time, he was looking for someone who was shooting tannerite in like a burn area, like a high risk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he asked me, but other than that, and I shoot like every week. I've never seen anyone.
Huh.
The odd Parks and Rec person will like drive by and wave at me from the truck. But
yeah, I always like when I would go, say, before when I lived in California, I lived maybe like stone's throw from the national forest, and then the area I would shoot at was maybe 10-minute drive, but pretty deep in the woods. And it was always weird to me because, like, living in California, you're kind of like looking over your shoulder, like just even like having that interaction of shooting in the woods. You're like, are they going to try to give me a hard time? What's this interaction going to be like? And I would have like county sheriff roll by. I would have, state parks, game wardens. And so I was just like, man, this seems like an odd amount of law enforcement in the middle of the woods to be like, gotta check out that random gravel pit, out back.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was. California has a very odd gun culture, and there's a lot of people that are super, super hardcore, just like send it, I don't care. Which I, commend their, how do I phrase this correctly? Their civil disobedience in a kind way of just like, I'm going to do my own thing, whatever. I don't like, you're not going to keep me down. I'm not going to do anything crazy, but like, you're not going to keep me down from doing what I deserve to be able to have. And then you have people who are on the other end who are like, well, I guess I'll make do with this. I love my, my Ruger 1022, and that's really all I need. And so it's a really odd combination of like complete polar opposites.
No,
There's not a lot of people in the middle.
I've heard and known of a lot of people in California with a lot of hardware, but it's also massive. There's so many people and so many cultures spread out over the entire thing.
Yeah.
It'd be very, very hard to police.
Yeah, those major areas. And there's so much, national forest too, that I feel like you can't cover all that.
Oh, fuck no.
That is one thing I really miss. The gun culture out here in Tennessee is pretty amazing, and I am absolutely in love with it, but I do miss the national forest land. That was
I've
was
heard
a big
that
hit.
Tennessee and Texas are both great for guns, like in terms of gun rights and everything, but you can't exactly just like drive half an hour in any direction and just go fucking shoot.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have weird like Tennessee State Department like wildland resource areas, and they'll usually have like a public range attached to them that you can use for a fee. But really the best thing I've kind of found is finding like local ranges that are private. So there's one I go to, which I'm not going to say the exact area because I don't want it to get too popular. I don't want people to know where I live, but
dude, I feel that so much.
Yeah. But it's very much like a mom and pop shop. You show up at the gate. Like we showed up one time and they're like, oh, they showed up 45 minutes late. And they're like, oh, sorry guys. Like just got like waylaid. Oh, no big deal. But like you literally go in, you pay $20. They've got 6 pistol/AR ranges that are like bays that are maybe 75 yards long, and then a long distance range. And it's just like, send it. Like no RO, like just no range safety officer, just go as long as you're safe. Like we don't care what you do. And so we have a group of dudes who show up like once a month. We'll go shoot some drills, run around in kit. But I was like, this is a nice change. Like obviously I wish it was free and, kind of out in the woods, but I was like, this isn't too bad. I mean, compared to some places.
Yeah. While we were talking, I was doing my opportunity to do my loud activities.
No, it's okay. I've just been itching this whole time to deploy my flux for old time's sake.
Is that a T1?
No, it's just a Holosun. Yeah, it's a 403.
I mean, heck, if it works.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's good for my budget.
Yeah, I'm too self-hating racist to own a Holosun, unfortunately. I say that it's literally on my carry gun.
Yeah, I know. I have liked my it's their like titanium open emitter one for my carry gun. It's been great.
508T.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
it's been great. I really want to try some of the closed emitter optics though. That's definitely on.
I'm a big fan of closed emitters, mostly as I shoot outdoors a lot.
Yeah,
and it's it can be kind of rainy here in northern Idaho.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I like it quite a bit. I do, but it's I really people shit on it. You can get RCRs for like $500 or $550.
Yeah, that's not bad.
They give you $100 rebate. So
yeah,
400 something total.
I feel like truly this is like the golden age of weapon optics. Like we've never been able to have such good quality at so cheap. I was thinking back to like early 2000s when it was like like race guns, and they had like big closed emitters, and now it's like you can literally go get a pre-tapped or pre-milled slide same day, probably pick up an optic at like your same local gun shop, and it's super easy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, those young kids don't know how good they got it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, I'm not even going to get into like how doing that shit in Canada is. It involves a lot of the secret ingredient.
Even just like getting like a slide mill done.
Oh, dude, I think there was only a couple places that did it. But
oh my gosh,
getting,
this is so much worse.
Slide. There was like a couple places that had it, and the markup was like 80%.
Oh my gosh,
the equivalent price would be in the United States.
I mean, I thought it was bad, but holy shit. It goes this really bad. Oh man. So I can't help but bring up the illustration portion, which you're most well known for, other than obviously the podcast, which is successful. But you guys have done, I'm looking at your Instagram page right now. It says 259 posts. with a shit ton of original artwork. And I just got to say, I think it's a really cool aspect. I have always looked at your artwork and kind of, it reminds me of a mix between like Calvin and Hobbes and Tintin meets Fallout. I just always really enjoy it. It's cool to see.
Thank you.
I feel it's a really unique way to transfer information, make it approachable and easy for people to digest. Has it ever been hard? I wonder, kind of from like the creativity aspect, to kind of do creativity on demand. I mean, have you ever run into issues where you're just like, man, I just cannot put out this guide. I can't think about being creative. Or have you had kind of developed tips and tricks over the years to kind of get through those creative latency or like creativity humps?
Oh, dude, I wish I had an answer for you that was good, because no, they just happen, and then I just don't create anything for 6 months. Like, I'm in kind of one right now, and I think a lot of that is like there's two big things, and I brought one up in a show a little while ago. It's like, you know how it's harder to create stuff when you're happy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm really fucking
I agree with
happy.
that.
Yeah, like
life is good.
Like, I think the best example I can think of was, so I met a Canadian who's fairly high profile gun rights person in Canada, and I met him at SHOT Show this year. And a friend of mine, Evan, if you're listening to this, I love you.
We love you, Evan.
And was like, hey, yeah, that guy you were talking to, yeah, he's like a Fed. He was saying some really, really angry, like kind of unhinged stuff about the government. I'm like, no, he's just Canadian, man. Like, you do not know the rage of someone who lives that far behind, like, I don't want to say behind enemy lines, but behind enemy lines until you've been there.
Yeah.
Like, what he's saying right now is how I was feeling several years ago. And several years ago, I was churning fucking content out because I was just angry and, like, I don't want to say miserable or anything, but like I had a goal. And that goal was to, like, prepare people for, like, oh shit, like, what if everything gets a lot worse than it already is? You know, in a lot of ways it has, but more in the, like, gay, retarded, techno...
steampunk,
like, yeah. It's just like the gayest version of a cyberpunk dystopia. It's like I don't even get my, like, Kuroshi optics or my like cool gorilla fists or whatever, or like my vending machines that give me 3D printed guns. Instead, I just get, like, AI surveillance state.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like, okay, cool, AI art's replacing my job, but like I had a lot of, like, I was pretty upset then, and I think that drove me to create a lot more. And now I'm pretty happy, and I find, like, while I'm really happy and I really like the community that I've currently fostered, I don't really feel that drive to be like, hey, here's how you set up an L-shaped ambush. Like, here's how you like assault through an objective. Like, here's how you do battle drill 1. Like, I'm a little... Like, I want to get back to doing that because I do enjoy it. I just don't feel the drive like I used to. And two, probably the bigger thing, and why I'm in a little bit of a creative rut, is, God, the internet's so fucking negative right now. I don't know what it is.
It's
like,
rough,
everything.
man.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I do not remember it being like this a couple years ago. But, like, anything I see, like, I can see a video of, like, a cat, you know, playing with a toy, and all the top comments are either like, hey, like, you're abusing that cat. People shouldn't have pets because it's abusive to the natural ecosystem, and, like, you should kill yourself. Like, it's like, my guy, I can't even have this.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't even have this. And it is very disheartening for making me create things. Podcasts, at least, like, someone's going to listen to that entire thing. If they leave a comment, maybe BR will read it, because I sure as shit won't, because I like, if someone wants to give me feedback, they can fucking talk to me. I'm infinitely reachable.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, kind of the start of me wanting to get into this podcast was there's so much miscommunication and so much strife that it's like, it's nice to just sit down and have a conversation with interesting people in the 2A space. I mean, I think there'd be so much more we have in common if people would be willing to just sit down and, like, have a chat. Like I've gone into some of the interviews and think like, well, I don't know if we're really going to agree on these topics. And then I sometimes I find myself like, oh, that makes a little bit more sense. Maybe probably not, because I have a hard time conveying myself, but maybe they think, wow, that's a really great point, But again, having that conversation versus just like, oh, did you hear the latest thing? Like, this person's so cooked. And it's like,
this person talked with someone who's a leftist, maybe, or like the once in a Twitter thread 7 years ago, or like this person like said this thing that's transphobic, bigoted, and supports Israel. I don't know. Like insert the gay shit that people care about.
Yeah. It's one of those things too, where it's like, I look at things and I'm like, my guy, you have posted 12 videos about this one person's malfeasance. Like, maybe you should call that person and talk to them. Adult. Yeah. You should call them and talk to them if you have that much strife in your life. And two, like, just do literally anything else with your time and probably be more productive, and you'd feel better about it.
But like, I was just talking with BR the other day. And I hate to say it, it's kind of like the OnlyFans thing, if that makes any sense. Like, OnlyFans people wouldn't exist if there wasn't a market for it. And who do you ultimately blame? The creators of content or the people who consume the content? Which like, I don't necessarily know if there should be an onus of responsibility for people, and I'm not going to name anyone like and that's not even the point. It's not the point. It's not the point at all. I'm sure those people are nice people in real life. Maybe they might also be assholes. So I'm not sure about anything. So the one thing I'm sure of is I'm not sure of anything. But like the fact that there's so many of us who are willing to sit down and consume content of like, oh, this person, destroyed his family and cheated on his wife and is actually awful. It's like, okay, just don't consume their content.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's really not. Or like this person did X thing in Y way. It's like, and like I've gotten shit for it too. Like once I took commissions for people, and for years it dogged me because it turns out that group was like part of a leftist charity or some shit. And like it came up in comments like 2 years later, like, oh, Nathan's a leftist because
gosh.
Yeah, it's like, tell me you've never listened to me fucking talk.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do, guys? Like, I look up the social security number in every Twitter thread that this person's ever posted? No, They paid me money to do a drawing. Like, I didn't lurk their shit because it's my fucking job.
Yeah, you got to eat sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to eat sometimes, and also I only have so much time in my day. Being an internet sleuth on every single person that messages me, no. Like, you're lucky if I say I'm infinitely approachable, but if you DM me, I want to reply, but you'll be lucky if you get one. Just send another to my personal or Discord or something.
Yeah.
Like the idea that every single person is held responsible for every single interaction they have in their life is such a 2025 internet thing.
Yeah,
Same with consuming just like slop content about other grown-ass men.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's something about the aspect of having so much accessibility and so much content like readily at your fingertips. I think it makes even just falling into that really easy. And like,
100%.
I interviewed a good friend of mine, South Coast Longer. He does like PRS stuff. He's got some really cool. He's got a cool class right now where he found, an 800-acre farm in California that allows them to do like a 2-mile hike and shoot throughout this property.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's like, we're hoping to do a 10-mile, which I think is sweet, but they literally hike point to point and shoot at a varying degree of targets from different elevations and different distances as they kind of like work their way through this property, which is pretty sweet. It's Southern California. It's a gorgeous area. But we were kind of talking and even discussing, things. And I was kind of talking about, USPSA and how I have frustrations sometimes when people get into the like gaming culture where like I'm going to shoot on 1 foot or I'm going to shoot jumping midair or do something crazy to kind of increase their score. And I was like thinking about it afterwards, and I was like, although I might even have like a little bit of validity in my own mind, like, again, that's not even the point. It's so easy to fall into like, well, it's me, and then there's these other people that I don't like. And it's like, those people are enjoying a great sport, great fundamentals, like, but it's just so easy to fall into, well, I don't like that, so like, let me talk about it. It's a weird phenomenon.
There's like this manufactured controversy between like quote unquote like tactical shooters, LARPers, and like the USPSA people. It's like both are valid and can exist.
Yeah,
you can do both. Even like it like this weird thing about like, oh, we need to shit everyone that's in like an adjacent but similar hobby. Like fuck off. I even have a local friend that does it quite a bit, and I keep on having to be like, dude, shut the fuck up. None of this matters. Like you're employed. Why are you talking like this?
Exactly.
This is unemployed thoughts.
And I feel bad because it's like, I'm even like trying to check myself, and I'm like, I'm even guilty of doing the same thing. I am no better than anybody else. It's just so easy to fall into, it's me and my opinions and the people who agree with me versus everybody else. When kind of like you were saying before, this is kind of like the golden era where, imagine instead of, oh, I want to shit on this company because I don't like how things are run, or I don't like this person, or I think this person's stupid. Imagine if we all just rallied around two-way culture and, hey, if you want to go shoot USPSA and, do a bunch of crazy stuff, shoot open guns, great. If you want to get 4 dudes and have a fire team and you can call me Nighthawk, then great.
Go practice Battle Drill 1 in the woods. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Go do bounding and fucking Aussie peelbacks or whatever the shit. Like,
imagine if we focused on those things versus tearing each other to shreds.
But I think it's like very much like weaponizing human nature against each other.
Yeah, that's true.
I do think that it's people love to be negative. They do. It's addicting, and I even find it like this is why I've basically anonymized all my personal social media, because I find myself, someone will be. And like, I know this makes me so hypocritical. They'll put out a really bad take, and I'll respond to them with like something that is generally objectively right. It's like, let me think of a really gay example that's going to out me as being a fucking nerd. Someone posted a thing. It's like, oh, well, why don't we do CQB in this way? Like, it's faster and better, and I don't know why we don't do it anymore. And it's just like videos of dudes in the 50s clearing rooms from the hip.
Hell yeah. Like, I instantly think of like the 70s SWAT guys, like black molly camo, like MP5 chicken wing.
That. Yeah. And like Vietnam era, like tunnel cleaning and stuff.
Yeah.
And I responded, I don't know why the tism hit me that day. I'm just like, all right, well, like here's my thoughts about it and why like round accountability over penetration, so and so, like all of the nerdy shit, and they just responded well, you're wrong, and like
you got me, son.
You know nothing. I'm like anyone who's shot guns knows to use their sights, and they're like, I got baited super hard, and it's really easy to bait me because I get like invested in things I shouldn't. I'm like, okay, this is my yearly reminder why I don't use the internet, because people are retarded or they're not retarded and they're looking for a reaction. In this case, I think this guy was just retarded, but like people who try and bait people, like it works really well on people like me. I hate to say that.
Yeah. I think we can all fall prey to that relatively easily.
Yeah, it's just like, you're stupid and this is why, and they're winning because you're giving them attention.
Yeah. So the flip side of that coin is, do you think that there's any, I mean, you brought up grifters earlier. Do you think that there's times to have like cultural accountability where you can hold people accountable?
I think so, but like, I think it's important to be honest with both yourself, and that what they're doing has to probably be bad, like bad enough anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I again, the famous example, if someone cheats on their wife, that's awful. I'm not going to interact with that person anymore. I'm not going to enjoy their content. Yeah. Not that I really watch YouTube or anything. Like, I know that it happened. We all know that it happened. I'm not going to create hours of content about it. If you want to, that's fine. I'm not going to shit on you. It's just weird. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I understand the person who's doing it is, getting that ad revenue and like those views and attract people to their page. I think it's a little weird to be obsessed with it or whatever. But if someone like something where I think people should be found accountable is like harmful behaviors. One of those being like shilling a product that is substandard or dangerous, like bad body armor, guns that fail. One particular one is, and fuck it, I'm going to name them GBRS Group. Like,
we can get into that one. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like it's no secret that them and a lot of other influencers take money from SIG. Like that's a known quantity. You will see people accusing them of it, and they used to delete the comments, or once I saw them respond with "show us where they gave us money," and it's like, no, because that's in your bank account. We don't have access to your bank account, but I don't see you deny it. But I knew a fella that worked fairly high up in Fieldcraft Survival Channel. Like he was a higher level manager at Fieldcraft Survival Channel, and he disclosed to me that Mike Glover, and this is before the SIG, the really bad SIG drama, was getting about $250,000 a year just to use SIG's products.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of fucking money, and that's the same kind of circles GBRS Group runs in.
I mean, again, SIG, if you want to reach out anytime.
You pay me enough, I'll delete that episode. I don't care. I want to put a down payment on a fucking house.
Yeah, appendix carry a SIG if you want me to, sure.
Yeah. I might take the striker out. I might carry it Israeli, but $250,000, sign me up, buddy.
Yeah, I wonder when or if those kind of things are ever going to leak, where you're going to have some disgruntled employee who's like, here's the books. You know what I mean? Like I feel like someday that's going to come out and it's really going to shock some people, and it's like there's some like heavy money.
Like behind the scenes, the amount of money that trades hands in the gun space is kind of extreme. Something that I like to kind of point at too is how things are, because I don't want to be like, oh, if you're taking money from SIG, you're like necessarily shilling a really negative product. Like Lena McCulloch, I wouldn't call necessarily a shill.
No, I wouldn't either. I think she's great for gun culture.
She takes their money, but she doesn't put out videos saying like SIG is the best product ever.
Yeah,
they are safe no matter what, and denies taking SIG's money. And also I think the flagship video I saw GBRS put out was SIG is better than Glock, and this is why. Like that was the whole thing. And they just, I watched it, and anyone who shoots like to any level of proficiency is just like knows that they're making shit up. Like this isn't a thing. But to like entry level gun people, what they're saying is gospel. It's like, oh yes, this grip angle is totally uses your body, parasympathetic, buzzword, like optimal,
dynamic kinetic entry.
Yeah. It's just like pseudoscience words to be like, yes, this product's better. It's like, no, like guys, if you're going to take money from them, just take money from them and use their product. Don't lie to people.
Yeah.
Like if you're lying to people, that's something I think should be called out. Like shilling steel armor, if you don't know any better, like that is an unsafe product. Maybe be honest about it.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things where it's like, if you're lying to people for your personal gain, we should hold those people accouable. But
like, I think that applies to the training space a lot too. I mean, that's the other one I'm very passionate about, and I'm not. I have said this before, and I will say it again. I am not some former serviceman. I don't have any formal training. I am not, a USPSA Grandmaster, but I think there's legitimate training, and then there's a lot of people out there who unfortunately are making money at people's expense.
100%. I do think, like, because after getting here, I got into the training space a little. I qualified as an RSO, and I just started,
nice.
They got a class of 12 people, and thank you. I've been, I taught a little bit in Canada, and I try and, I stay humble about it. I am actually the most humble person you'll ever meet. I'm so humble, actually, I have an award for it.
Why wouldn't I take you at your word? Yeah, that's... So, go ahead.
But I see some of the training that's given out there. I'm like, wow, this is objectively bad. This is bad. Like, if it's the person who walks in, with zero knowledge going to be better when they walk out? Maybe, but have they learned the wrong things? Probably. Like,
that one eats at me too.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the thing where two aspects. One, the McJojo culture. There's no real like governing body. Like the NRA certification is a fucking joke. To become an NRA certified,
dude, don't get me down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's
so
awful.
bad.
And you see people holding that as like a star achievement. It's like, no, this is for insurance reasons. It does not mean you can teach your shit.
Yeah.
It means you can safely load and unload a gun without putting it in your fucking mouth. Like,
so
and like if you're not going to taste it before you put it away, what's the fucking point?
Rating on mouthfeel. I mean, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. But God, it's a really, really low bar. And I want to say that there's a lot of good trainers and bad trainers that do this out of the goodness of their heart. And they think that they're like, I know a lot of trainers, you know, some here and some not, that teach outdated stuff because that's what they know. That is their gospel.
Yeah.
If you show them anything else, I remember once I was asked to shoot a drill by a trainer in a class that I was just, I don't want to call it, what's the word? Sitting in on, effectively.
Okay.
But he had a TA who just thought I was one of the students, and he had me shoot a drill. He was an older guy, and I just shot it, you know, the normal way, just stand, present, shoot. And he's like, oh, well, you know, what are you doing, Sonny? You're doing that the lazy way. Here's how you should be doing it. And he like gets down with his 1911 and like
I'll get you killed in the streets.
Up around. Yeah. Like leans into it like a fucking turtle. It's like in his mind, that's right.
Yeah.
And he doesn't quite know why that's right. And I'm sure he was, you know, champion of the pistol team in US Navy circa 1985 or something. But like things change, and you have to acknowledge there's a lot of ways to skin a cat in one way, and that techniques and accepted practice is one kind of objective. Like all of these things will show on a shot timer, and they will show in performance. And two, all of this stuff like CQB, shooting, like shooting rifle, shooting pistol, that is such like a fluid science, if that makes any sense. Like the high performance shooters now look totally different than the high performance shooters 10 years ago, look totally different than the high performance shooters 20 years ago. I don't know if they're going to evolve from here. They might, but like there's a lot of institutional knowledge that is just like taken root and isn't going to go anywhere. But I absolutely agree with you. There's a lot of McDojos, and like any Tom, Dick, or Harry that owns a Glock can teach if they want to, if they market it right. I will say I've been very lucky that everyone that I've met, whether they teach well or not, their heart is in the right place. I'm sure there's a lot of people that aren't.
Yeah, that are just willing to take people's money and kind of be the end of it. I mean,
100%.
I think to your point too, it's refreshing to me when I see people who train who are out still taking classes. You know,
yes.
I think you see a lot of high level instructors still out there taking other people's classes and trying to stay informed. I mean, even, I've talked to people about this before, but I've been in, medicine now for like, almost a decade in varying degrees. But even, since I got out of emergency medicine, which was a few years ago, things change so much. And unless you're staying up on that knowledge, you're going to be the guy who's like, you need to do this for a C-spine fracture. And you got to, put them on the longboard and strap them down. It's like, that's completely irrelevant now. Like we don't do that like as much anymore. But, if you're relying on your knowledge and you're not staying up to date or not talking to other people or seeing other things that are going on, and you're just like, well, I learned this really well and I was really good at this 5 years ago. It's got to be the same now. That's really going to affect how you're putting out things, the quality of what you're putting out in the future. I mean, if you're not 100%. Staying in it. On a kind of a more positive note, is there anyone who, because I have expressed before, I went to a couple of really bad classes and then was just like, I'm never going to waste my money on classes again. And then I went to a few really good classes that really totally like turned my sight on taking classes and being a student and paying the money to go to these classes kind of for the better. Is there anyone who you've taken classes from that you'd really recommend, that you've like really enjoyed their content, you've really enjoyed their teaching style? Because I always appreciate hearing kind of people's success stories in that regard.
I agree. Absolutely. There's quite a few that I'd like to recommend, even through people who've just like taken the time to teach me online, even when I was in Canada, like Rob Epiphania, USPSA GM, based on the East Coast. I believe he's kind of near Louisiana.
Okay.
Excellent shooter. I'm sure a lot of people's work stands for themselves. Like I would probably, and this is again kind of not verbatim, but from people I know, wouldn't hesitate to take a class from like Ben Steger or someone like that.
Yeah.
In terms of some of the classes I've taken up here, some people will get poopy about this. I strongly disagree. As a friend of Jared and someone who's taken a lot of his classes, Jared of Orion Training Group is fantastic. I see a lot of crap about like, you don't need this, you don't need so and so, and I feel like that's very antithetical to.
Like CQB.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't figure we were talking about just practical shooting or anything.
No, any firearms related class. And honestly, like the guys at Orion Training Group seem awesome. They've been on my list of people to go and learn from because they seem like super solid dudes.
The thing that I appreciate about Jared, and again, they don't just teach CQB, they also teach bushcraft, they also teach all sorts of stuff, really. They have Rob Epiphanias on their team as a USPSA GM shooting like performance pistol. And he's excellent. You can take more or less every kind of training that you would want through OTG of some kind. But what I really like about Jared is he is a teacher. Like that is his focus. Is the adult learning method is teaching people.
He might be the first person I've actually heard, and maybe it's just because I've really enjoyed hearing him on your podcast. But he's one of the few people. I mean, the only person I can really think of in the training environment who's talked about addressing the needs of the student, like you said, in the adult learning model. Like, I don't think anybody's even thinking that in depth about the training phase. I mean, there's definitely people you meet who it's like, okay, you have refined your teaching ability, but most people don't even address that from a, I don't know, parenthetical standpoint where it's like, hey, I'm going to make sure not only that I'm good at speaking, good at presenting the information, but I am taking this a step further and making sure I'm learning to be a good teacher as well.
Yes, 100%, and he very much does that, and he's always refining it. I don't think I've ever taken, because he's my friend. I'll be honest. Full disclosure, I just take his classes to hang out with him. I mean, when he's local, I'm like, hey, Jared, I'm coming. And he's like, I just show up like half a day late. Then I'll just like volunteer op4 and like.
That's cool.
I'm always learning new things because he's always refining. He's always being like, well, COG does this, Delta does this. Here's my source. Recently, he brought in a. Because he teaches SWAT-based stuff a lot of the time. He brought in a Ranger Battalion guy to help teach him up here, and that guy brings in all his experience, and you get like this communication and this back and forth that is just really, really good, and I think that's a good learning environment. Another guy that I like, and he does a lot of SEER stuff. He does a little bit of like Pistol 1, 2, 3, which probably. This is more Pacific Northwest, would be Michael of ARC, like American Reconstruction Concepts. He's up here. I've done an episode with him as well. But I've helped like TA some of his classes. I went in and sat in on a couple and just like learned how he shot. He's a good dude, and there's not a lot of places where you can get like SEER. I think he does like a retreat now or something, but I think that's more tailored towards like corporate people, like survival and evasion if you get kidnapped. But
interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I know out here we have Mitch W of Agonic. He kind of has some similar like bushcraft style courses where he'll take people out for a couple days. And this is I remember I talked to him at a meet and greet. Super nice guy, but he kind of said like, oh yeah, we'll kind of tailor it to the environment. So if it like suddenly gets rainy that day, like, okay guys, we're gonna do an expedient shelter and let's talk through this so we can prepare. And okay, let's talk about utilizing this water source. I'm sure I'm butchering his class agenda. But it's cool to see courses like that kind of make people maybe a little more well-rounded, outside just shooting at 10 yards. It's like, hey, here's a whole new skill and a whole new area that you can kind of explore that is kind of a dying art, I would say, nowadays.
I agree. You don't have to limit yourself to just like 2-second bill drills. but at the same time, again, like you can't force people to do stuff that they don't enjoy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Say, like, take that stuff if you're genuinely not interested in it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And I think the big thing with civilian training is like that you got to have the mindset before you walk in. Otherwise, you're just spending money on nothing, really.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's your cold hard cash. Whatever you want to, what if you want to spend your money on? This is America. It's the best part of, you have the free will to spend your money on whatever you want. I mean, 100%. I've said before, like I am probably the last use case for needing a CQB class, but like it just sounds like a good time to go and learn from Jared.
Yeah, genuinely, that's it. It's just like, and some of that stuff, if you are interested in outdoors things, it's like, what's a hallway crossing? It's just a linear danger crossing. Yeah. Like, what do you do in low light CQB? It's all just like nonverbal comms through essentially 2 toilet paper tubes. Like, it's all stuff that translates. Everything's less than a standard deviation from each other, and like a lot of stuff from one can be applied to the other, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's a really fair point.
Yeah, like you do a hallway crossing, you do like a T or a X intersection. Cool. That's literally, you could apply that to a road or a river or anything. Like, it's all the same kind of tactics.
This is like a total aside, and I'm sure I could just not be lazy and like look it up on their website. But do they do like simunitions in that class for his CQB courses? How does that usually?
It depends
how does it run?
On the course, but yes.
Okay.
If they do force on force, then it would be simunitions or UTMs at each other, or airsoft, depending where the facility is and what they have on hand. Some courses aren't. But I think a majority of them are at their home kind of club in Louisiana. I believe they use UTMs force on force, and they have walls that are purposely permeable by the UTMs to simulate shooting through walls.
That's sweet.
I think that's really, really neat.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that because I thought it'd be cool to go down there. It's a little far. I want to say it's like a 12-hour drive to get down there from Tennessee, but
it'd be cool for a weekend or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get away, learn a little CQB. They sound like cool dudes.
And even then, like, I'll stand by it too. If you or someone else has no interest in CQB, fuck it. There's no point, if you're not interested. I'm never going to be like, oh, you need this, or you're going to get killed in the streets. Like, that's kind of the wonderful thing, as you said, about being American. You got money, do the things that interest you.
Yeah. And, one thing I've had to remind myself too is that you could have all the best intentions, and let's say, and I'm just throwing something hypothetically out there. Let's say I 100% had something for you that was for the prepared rifleman that you should, objectively learn. If it's not something that's going to interest you, why waste your money and your time and your effort and your range day on it? Like, there's probably things that are good for you, like there is when you go and eat, but like, at the end of the day, do what's going to make you happy. This is probably going to be a hobby. I hope to pray to God that it's a hobby for all of us. We never actually have to use any of these skills, but enjoy yourself at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be too much more complicated than that. There's good things, but obviously if you're not enjoying the training, what's even the point?
Yes, I 100% agree. I think that, again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But I know someone up here who I will not name, who just like, he's the only case that I can think of is like this. He will take every single training course he possibly fucking can. Like, everyone. He's there at, like Qore vision, weaponized geometry. He's taking PRS courses. He's doing Pistol 1, Pistol 2, Pistol 3. And he's not getting anything out of them because he's not interested. He's not actually internalizing the information. He's doing them because that is like the stereotype of the gun guy. It's like a fashion statement. He's going there. He's never practicing. He's not interested enough to dry fire or do that stuff alone. So he's perpetually failing courses, something I didn't really realize you could do. Like it's kind of the same thing as like if you're going to university, like you're paying for the courses yourself, probably, hopefully, because you're a grown-ass adult. Maybe don't just waste your time and the instructor's time. Maybe go and like learn, go try.
Make some useful use of your time and your money that you're spending instead of just hopping from class to class.
Yeah. No, actually,
I always appreciate kind of on that same note, when you go to a course and they kind of like leave you with something to improve on afterwards. Yes. Like a little bit of homework, a little bit of like, oh, that's a different way of looking at things. And to your point, I mean, if you're not receptive to the coursework, then it doesn't even matter. It's going to go in one ear out the other. But like I took a course from Atlas Trading Group down in Atlanta, super nice guys.
Yeah. And I think I've heard of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're a smaller group, but like, man, super awesome guys. And their cadre are really, very knowledgeable. But I took one of their courses and they ended at the end of the day with a shooting standard that was like blind to the shooter. So you didn't know the par times. You just knew like, okay, we're going to shoot bill drill. We're going to shoot like one up. We're going to shoot, I can't remember. I'm just postulating, 6 shots at 25 yards. And then like, I think it was all the way back to like maybe 50. And so you ended the day with, hey, this is something that we challenge each other on, and we don't even shoot this standard 100% of the time. This is kind of how you stacked up so you can practice this moving forward. And it was kind of a cool challenge to be like, wow, like, okay, kind of a gut check. This is what I'm doing good. This is what I need to work on. And kind of left you wanting a little bit more, which I think is inspiring.
Yes, I 100% agree. Like having numbers, because like, again, if you, shoot a couple times a year, you're doing a lot more than the average gun owner.
Yeah. Like
if you shoot once a year, you've shot more than I think half of gun owners or something, or like more than that. I think that the bar is very low, which doesn't mean you shouldn't hold yourself to a higher standard. But like, I see a lot of people too being like, hey, I can't instruct unless I hit M class. Can't instruct unless I hit GM. It's like, no. If you're a good shooter and a proficient shooter, I think like I would take a good teacher that's like a mid B class shooter over a grandmaster who's just kind of okay. Like it really depends what you're doing, obviously. But
or a grandmaster who can't teach.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We've all
when I say
people.
Just kind of okay, I mean like someone who's not really invested in teaching and doesn't really know how.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have worded that a little better.
Nah, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to hit GM in a day of shooting anyways. If you're just learning the fundamentals, a B-class shooter is going to be able to do that and more.
Yeah. It's hard, I've kind of thought about like my own personal progression over the years, and it's hard not to get like disheartened, like, well, why am I not an A-class shooter in USPSA after this many years? Or I think it's really easy to get disheartened and kind of like lost in the sauce of, well, I go and shoot, and am I making the perfect progress? And why am I not better? When it's a really like slow burn progression, I think, to get good at like proper shooting fundamentals, proper, competition, things like that. Easy to get burnt out and just be like, well, I should be a GM by now. I've been shooting, for years, once a month. I don't know. It's easy to get disheartened that way.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
I know it's kind of, sorry, kind of a slight tangent.
No, go ahead.
I know you guys have kind of talked about like gun culture, like 1.0, 2.0 on the podcast. And again, I really appreciate that. I feel like you guys have made a big impact and kind of opened people up to a different series of either topics they weren't familiar with or different ways to kind of look at gun culture. What do you kind of see like would be gun culture 3.0? Is there anything you would like hope to see in the future other than, we've kind of already talked about the cultural aspect of like treating others with respect, different things like that. But is there anything you would hope moving forward that would kind of like make you happy, things you would hope to see gun culture move towards in the future?
I kind of hope everyone comes together again. Like I do.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's just obviously there's always going to be outliers or people who are just like want to round you up and put you in a camp for some post you did on Twitter or some shit. Or, like kill you because of your opinion, and fuck those people. But like I wish the general discourse was like more like what like we may not be on the same side, but we don't want each other to die. Like I don't like I wish that things came a little bit towards how they were. As weird as it is to say in like 2020 to 2022. Before we got so fucking distracted that it's like, okay, you got a civilian IAR, kill yourself. Yeah. Like that's a stage we're at right now. It's like,
you button hook instead of running the rabbit, like just die. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're teaching this wrong thing. Die, you piece of shit. Like Like, oh no, I remember one very angry comment I got back in the day of like, I was just teaching tack reloads, like retaining your magazines, which is a specific thing you do in a specific situation. And the comment was like, no, you never do this because when you're under stress, like your motor skills are going out. Why would you ever keep your magazine? And like the guy was like, oh, you fucking die, you faggots. Like,
my God.
Like my God, like you're so angry over nothing, like this free fucking content that I made.
Yeah.
Like over the course of like 8 hours, like these things take a while to make, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
I was watching one of your videos about like art tips and you were talking about like shading. I was looking at the page and you were like talking about like shading with opposing colors. And I was like, dude, this is like hours and hours of work that someone's just like, stupid. Like after you spent, I can imagine 20 hours put together like how to cross a linear danger area. And someone's just like, no, that's wrong. Anyways,
that's stupid. I was an 11 Bravo, and they for 6 months, and they taught me something different and basic. Like, dude, it's the people. It's the pogs that are the worst, I think. And like, don't get me wrong, it's not everyone, it's not all of them, but like, my mind always jumps to my buddy who like, it's like, I learned handgun training from Seesaw. I was attached to like a naval boarding party team, and we shot in a really high standard. And he shoots like a 6-second bill drill from low right. And it's like, my guy, like he humbled himself pretty quickly after we finally got to the timed portions.
Yeah.
But until then, he's just like, I already know this, and I don't have to learn anything. It's like, you can't force the commenters on the internet to go like shoot a course of fire with you. So you just kind of have to be like internalize, no, you're an idiot, and move on.
Yeah, I find that once you get the shot timer out, that is definitely the great equalizer.
Oh, 100%.
On people's ego.
Yeah, and then even sometimes it's like, well, paper doesn't shoot back. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
like Bruce Lee says boards don't hit back. Like, I will take a shit in your breakfast.
Yeah. Well, people get so wrapped up into it, and I know people have talked about this before, so I don't mean to beat a dead horse. Yeah. But people take themselves so seriously, and it's like, dude, can we just take a break from the like, I'm the macho guy, I have all the experience, and just relax? Like,
I feel like that betrays a certain insecurity. I do. Like, I feel like when people take themselves very seriously outwardly, it's generally because they don't like themselves very much, in my opinion. Like they're constantly looking over their shoulder to see how others are judging them, so they put up this wall around themselves. Like this has always been true. It's like, guys, chill out. No one really cares that much, and the people that do, they don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like that's just my take. I might be right, I might be wrong. I'm just a silly Billy.
No. Well, I feel like all this kind of wraps back into like, just don't take yourself too seriously. Like, it's going to be 100%. A hobby for 99% of us. Like, again, that's best case scenario. You never have to use this, but I think people can get so tore up on the like, this is defense of my life. Every second counts. I'm going to go bench press in the dark in my garage and be ready for, ninja roll from corner to corner so no one sneaks up on me. Like,
yeah. And if you want to do that, that's cool as well. Just like, don't shit on other people. Like,
exactly.
Like if you want to be like the most lethal, prepared, awesome, badass individual ever, like if you want to live your life that way, cool. I'm not even going to make fun of it. Just like, be kind. Just be kind.
Yeah.
Like be kind unless you have a reason not to be.
Be kind and give people a break. Don't be so hard on each other.
Yes, I agree entirely.
So this is a bit of a random tangent, but I've been kind of asking the last few people who I've had on, and so I'm always curious to see what people's favorite thing is lately. What is your favorite current range day drill of choice? I've kind of been asking people like, what's your warm-up drill, or what's one that you've kind of been favoring lately? And again, we're not going to hold you accountable and roast you in the comments if you prefer doing a bill drill, but
I hate to say that that's my go-to. That's my warm-up.
Really?
It's like a bill drill, then a reload. That and the briefcase drill from Collateral.
Like, hey, homie.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, homie.
Channel my
two from retention while you walk back a Mozambique, and then a second headshot on the first. Like,
yeah,
like it's not.
It's
bad.
not a bad drill. I will be honest.
It's movement. It's manipulation. Like it's a target transition. It's 2 target transitions. 2 transition right. 2 transition up. 1 transition left. 1. Like it's really really simple.
Yeah.
Like you don't get like getting in and out of position. You don't get all the fancy USPSA stuff, but it's just a fun, simple benchmark that's easy to do. That and the Blake, just like 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 3 targets spaced 1 meter apart.
Okay, I don't think I've ever ran that one.
Yeah, on our Patreon Discord right now, we just started doing it today. This is actually my buddy Ethan's idea. Just like monthly drills. Just like
I like that. That's cool.
I agree. I want to start like sending stickers out to just like raffle maybe just a couple people who do it a month.
Yeah,
send them something. I don't know. We'll see.
Another reason that
because that defeats the purpose. Like for whoever does it fastest, because then the same people just win every month.
Yeah, exactly. Another reason to join the CBRN Art Patreon. A shameless plug to get in there.
I just like having a community.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just nice.
That's exactly like what Jared I think does something similar where he's like, hey, we've got this standardized drill. If you can do it and film yourself in this time, we'll send you a patch, which I think is really cool because it's very much like
so
kind of like a gentlemanly like handshake deal. Like, hey, here's something challenging. You try it and see what you think. I always love trying other people's drills and kind of seeing how things stack up. I'll roast myself a little bit here, but I remember when GBRS Group put out their shooting standards. Have you seen that video?
I have not, no.
They've got, it's interesting. I mean, they've got a series of like, 1 shot low ready, 1 shot high ready. These are all from probably about like 7-10 yards. Bill drill, shooting and then drawing your pistol. There's kind of like a busy hands drill, and they give times. And I saw it online and I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. Like, these are all things I'm familiar with. Maybe I'll do it in a mask because I feel like this isn't going to be, difficult enough. So maybe I'll throw on, my mirror safety mask or something. And I went and I got totally destroyed. I think I, maybe shot like met 30% of the benchmark. But it was humbling. And so it's fun to see other people's drills and kind of be like, oh, I needed to work on that aspect, or I should test that out, or, something that you maybe thought was really good that, you could work on a little bit more. That's kind of illuminated by other people's drills. So I think it's easy to, hey, I'm really good at these drills. I'm going to lean in towards what I'm comfortable with. And then you kind of just get good on one side versus, I always like to try to spread things out, try something new, and always challenge myself a little bit when I go to the range.
I agree entirely. It's important. I really like the X-Ray Alpha CQB assessment for that. Like, challenge yourself. If you're really good at a drill, maybe do a different drill.
Yeah. I'll have to try that one too. I haven't looked up the X-Ray Alpha. One thing that so I've got a small group of dudes who we go and shoot like once a month, about 4 guys. And last time we just brought out a kettlebell. And we're like, hey, nothing crazy, but just we'll shoot, 3 rounds at 50, grab the kettlebell, 3 rounds at 25, and then grab the kettlebell, run, and, 3 rounds at 10, just to mix it up. And it was interesting.
I like that. Mixing fitness with shooting is fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I think everyone was like, oh, no big deal. And then you lift up a 40-pound kettlebell and you're like, holy shit, this is a little bit more than what I bargained for. And so it's just, it's fun to get out there, challenge each other. The group of guys I usually go with, the craziest it gets is we'll usually do push-up penalties.
Yes,
so,
I like that.
So we'll go and if you shoot a no shoot or you're the last one of the group, you might do 10 push-ups, something like that. So it just adds a fun, different, unique aspect versus just, I find if I go by myself, I'm really unmotivated. There's times to, focus on one thing and just kind of zone out. But I think it's fun to kind of have that camaraderie, get out there, have the fellowship, get the guys together, a little bit of productive shaming of each other and just have a good time.
Yeah, no, I agree entirely. I like that a lot. Going with the boys always keeps me motivated. Haven't been doing it as much as I could have lately. I got a silly little repetitive stress injury in both of my forearms from dry firing handgun too much. This is something I didn't even realize.
You're an animal, man. That's a lot of dry fire.
I got really addicted to it. I did 60,000 rounds in a month and a half.
How is it? I've been like
it's
so tempted
good
to buy into it because it's a bit of a price point, but I was like, man, it seems like such a cool like trainer.
I will say, and you see people being like, oh, well, it doesn't train recoil. It's like, if you can shoot halfway worth of fuck, the recoil does not matter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the dot will predictably go back to where it is. Your split times don't matter that much. What it's really good for is movement, like getting in and out of position, stage planning, and like vision-based shooting, and like getting your index every time.
Interesting.
Those are the big things, and it gamifies it to like give you those old dopamine bursts when you do well.
That's cool.
So like, it's fun, especially with the lads. I was doing it with the Discord for a little bit, but I fucked up both of my arms, and it was like, okay, let's do it once a week instead of every day. And then that was too much. And then it was like, okay, like I got to put this down for a couple months. But my arms seem more or less back to normal now. I had to do fucking physio for it.
Oh my!
So, yeah, it's like really
taking dry fire to the next level.
Yeah, and then like I started talking to other people I know who like dry fire a lot, like my buddy Aaron, who runs 3 Aces PSOC, was like, yeah, I teach so much, so I can't not dry fire. Like, I cannot not shoot handguns. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, like, it sucks to suck, bud, but like, this will get worse before it gets better. Like, I think it took 2 months before it like stopped hurting when I picked up groceries or like shoveled my dog's food.
Jeez.
Yeah. So yeah, be careful. Don't overdo stuff, and maybe like do wrist and forearm strengthening exercises so it doesn't happen if you dry fire a lot.
You would say worth the price point though on the Ace VR?
100%. Go on Facebook Marketplace if you're like a cheap bitch like me and look for
that's in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, I got a Quest 3, not the 3S, like the proper one.
Yeah.
With a external battery pack for $160.
Whoa, yeah, that's a steal.
Yeah, I got super lucky. We have 2 now because of that. I got the first one from my brother-in-law. But no, it's excellent. It's excellent. I haven't turned it on in a couple months because of the aforementioned I fucked my arms up, but
your physical therapist is like, Nathan, promise me you won't go back into Ace VR.
Yeah, I'll get texts from my friend Andy like every other day being like, not every other day, but recently, like, hey, how's your arms? You want to go? And like I can't blame him. It's like my friends here are like, hey, you want to go pistol shooting? I'm like, no. Like the way I've been really limiting myself is I will go with people and I will not bring ammunition so I don't get sucked into shooting.
Yeah,
like I'll just watch them or help them or like bring my stuff so they can shoot it, but I just go for the social aspect at this point. I haven't like shot with purpose other than zeroing rifles or like planking a little bit at longer range for a couple months now. It used to be every week.
Oh, so, wow, man. You've really dialed it back then.
Yeah, significantly.
Are you jonesing to get back out there?
A little bit. I gotta save more money for ammo, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? With the Ace VR, I saw recently too that like I've even seen, I don't know if it's like a mod or if it's a totally separate thing where they have almost like Ace VR meets Ready or Not.
Fucking what?
Yeah, so it's like
what
you can do like CQB clearance. The graphics are horrible. Don't get me wrong, like it's nothing crazy, but it's like you can clear rooms. You can you obviously see your partners that are in the same thing with you, kind of like streaming together. You can like open doors.
You're talking about Tactical Assault VR.
That might be it. Yeah.
Yes, that is an excellent game. I play it with people sometimes. Yeah, it's got like a procedurally generated kill house.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yes, it's excellent. I really want them to find a way to use the Ace VR handset to work with other games like that. I think that would be fucking dope.
Oh, so that one doesn't involve like the pistol handpiece, is what you're saying?
No, you just use your handhelds.
Okay.
I mean, maybe there's a mod, maybe there's something.
That would be freaking sweet.
Yeah, the FOMO would be too real, so I have to purposely not keeping up on anything. But like that, it is a very fun game, and I play it with Andy, my Australian friend, who's like watched most of the OTG videos, so he knows kind of like how to do nonverbal comms and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very fun with people who kind of want to LARP like you do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm not going to have the opportunity to like get a group of guys together and, practice CQB in my house. I mean, I'm lucky, like I said, if I get to the range once a month, which is probably my own fault, but
Yeah, but it's an opportunity to do it with people. I'll do it with you online. I don't care.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I try to limit myself because I have a tendency to get
lower. Sorry?
I was just saying I have a tendency to get like way too full send on video games. So I usually hold myself back on purpose because otherwise I just get like way too deep in it. So I just don't play any, but that sounds like a worthwhile swap.
Yes, I agree. Well, let me know if you get one. It's a lot lower of a startup cost than Ace VR because you can just do it with the handset that your headset comes with.
Okay.
You don't need a light gun or anything like that. You can just do it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so I think the cost of the game is like $15 or something like similarly cheap.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a lot more in my wheelhouse. I mean, eventually I'd love to get Ace VR, but that's something I'm definitely have to save up for a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say get the headset. In the meantime, you can play Ace without the gun handset. And if you like it enough, then get the gun handset.
Yeah, there you go. It sounds like
the game itself is free. You can pay for like a month subscription for like $10 or something. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But then you have the headset, and there's all sorts of other things you can do with that.
Do you feel like, see, this is kind of the shame of it since you had an injury after doing the Ace VR, but I guess before you kind of sustained your injury, do you feel like it actually empirically helped your shooting ability?
Yes, 100%. I can say that without a doubt.
Really? Okay, because I feel like that's always the debate.
VR. Like if you dry fire enough or you do enough reps of anything, you will get good at it. That's just the way it works. It's like Ace didn't do anything different than like dry firing at a cardboard target in my wall and doing target transitions and like careful stage planning, shooting more wouldn't have done. It was a tool that I utilized and it worked because like you do big, because like it's a good motivator because it gives you those little dopamine hits. Like you beat your score, cool, yay! Like the little sound plays and the confetti goes everywhere. Like it tricks your brain into really enjoying and gamifying what otherwise would just be like a chore, like your daily dry fire. And yes, I am tangibly faster now because my index is a little faster. My gun follows my eyes just that little bit faster, and every time it does that, like my times, like it adds up. It adds up.
Yeah, that little bit of extra like muscle memory, kind of snapping up a sight picture, things like that.
Yeah, not shooting all late winter, just using Ace. My average draw time went from like 1.2, 1.3 seconds to like 0.8, 0.9.
Dude, no way. That's awesome.
And I don't want to glaze Ace that much. Just dry firing with purpose all the time will do that.
Yeah.
And like I've had sub-second draws loads of times in my life, and it's a depreciable skill. Like shooting is depreciable. But like this is the longest it's stayed without effort, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like literal thousands of reps out of the holster with my handset. Like with purpose. The gains haven't been fading as quickly as they have in the past.
Huh. All right. Well, I guess that'll be on my short list. I'll try that out.
Yes, I genuinely do think it'll help. It really, really starts showing when it forces you to really think about stage planning too. If you're a USPSA guy,
yeah.
There is an objectively faster way to do everything, and you can really game like what methods work for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing I mean, it's nice going with like a more experienced squad, especially, man, the squad, the people who show up at the local matches here, like you have nationally ranked people, which is kind of cool to shoot alongside because you can really pick up a lot. But that's one thing I always kind of like have pause, like, okay, what's the best way to approach this? And there's definitely a skill at stage planning and figuring out what's the best way to flow through the stage, what's going to give you the easiest sight pictures, what's going to conserve your momentum, things like that.
Yeah, I agree entirely.
Nice. Well, cool, man. I know we're kind of getting a little late here, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. One thing I just like to kind of end with everybody, which you may have kind of already answered this, but if you had to give one little bit of advice to our listeners, what would you say? Same
thing I said earlier, be kind. You know, if you see someone on the internet that may not agree or disagree with you, or they have a slightly different gun, or they bought a belt fed or something, or like the wrong pistol, just you don't have to be as mean as you could be. Like, you know, if you got someone who's like into the same things as you, but oh no, they bought an 11.5 barrel instead of a 16-inch DMR, like whatever, man. Is it really worth just like shitting on someone for just doing something a little bit differently? Like maybe it doesn't fit your use case. Maybe they just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Maybe like there's already so
human.
much negativity in the world. Do you have to add to it?
Definitely.
Just be kind. We should celebrate each other more, or even like if you don't celebrate someone, you don't have to shit on them.
Yeah. Just be kind. I love that. That's good.
Yeah.
That really that ended on a happy note. I like that.
I appreciate it.
Where can we find you if our listeners want to hear more?
So I have a silly little podcast. Well, first, my Instagram is Red Stag Collective. At
jeez.
In all seriousness, it's CBRN Art. I promise I'll do more soon. I haven't been super fantastic about posting lately for the aforementioned reasons, but
that was a good reason, though.
Yeah, I'll get back to it. I'm sure. Primarily, the Art and War podcast, which maybe you're listening to this on it right now. I don't know. If you are, thank you for listening. If you're not, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm joking. But yeah, no, you can hear us ramble and talk to interesting people like you, actually.
Like me, yeah.
You are interesting, and I appreciate you having me on.
Interesting is generous, but thank you.
I think so. But yeah, my personal account is Illustration Nathan. Maybe I'll accept your request, maybe not. Probably not. I have like 10,000 that I have just not looked at or anything. I don't post on there. It's just like how you can contact me. Just DM me there if you need me. It's inactive. It's just like not as much of a hellscape as the CBRN DMs.
Yeah, I can imagine that one moves really fast.
Oh God, I don't even want, dude. You don't even want to know.
Well, I just have to say before we close out, I remember listening to episode 1 of you and Mitch like way back in the day. And enjoying the podcast from the beginning. And it's kind of a trip to sit down and be able to talk to you. So I really appreciate the time. And you guys,
anytime. I'm glad you reached out.
You guys are doing great work. And so I appreciate you putting the time and effort into the podcast. I know it takes a lot of time.
Yes. Oh, anytime. And likewise, I appreciate you. And I appreciate you inviting me on here.
Yeah, man. Anytime. All right, guys. Have a good one. And thanks for listening.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.